Ancient Egypt, a golden age of civilization, but for the children of Israel, it was a dark prison. The ruler of Egypt, who was called Pharaoh, claimed to be God. Intoxicated with pride and power, he imposed the cruel chains of slavery on the children of Israel. They were made to do the most inhuman and difficult work. In such a difficult time, a soothsayer in Pharaoh's court predicted that a son would be born in the family of the children of Israel who would bring down Pharaoh's kingdom. Hearing this, Pharaoh became mad. He issued a cruel decree. All newborn boys born in the houses of the children of Israel would be killed. The cries of newborns and the wailing of mothers began all around. It was in this horrific situation that Moses, alayhi as-salam, was born. His mother, Jochebed, began to live in extreme fear. How could she save her beloved child? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her a divine inspiration, ilham, in her heart. He ordered her to fill a wooden chest and float it in the Nile River. How difficult it is for a mother to float her child in a raging river is indescribable, but with complete trust in Allah, she did so. The waves of the Nile carried the chest straight to the key of Pharaoh's palace. Pharaoh's wife, the noble woman Asya, alayhi as-salam, saw the chest and ordered it to be brought up. As soon as the chest was opened, she saw the charming face of a baby, and her heart was filled with love. Childless Asya convinced Pharaoh to adopt the child. By the infinite power of Allah, Moses, alayhi as-salam, began to grow up as a prince in the palace of the Pharaoh who was seeking to kill him.
Moses alayhi salam gradually grew into a strong and wise young man. He knew that he was a son of the children of Israel, and the oppression of his people constantly pained him. One day, he saw an Egyptian from Pharaoh's tribe beating a child of the children of Israel in one corner of the city. The oppressed man asked Moses alayhi salam for help. Moses alayhi salam punched the Egyptian just to stop him, but Moses had infinite strength. With that one punch, the man fell to the ground and died. Moses alayhi salam did not want to kill him at all. He repented and asked forgiveness from Allah, and Allah forgave him. But the news of this spread quickly. Pharaoh's soldiers started looking for him to kill him. On the advice of a well-wisher, Moses alayhi salam fled Egypt on foot empty-handed. After walking for 8 days and 8 nights, exhausted by hunger and thirst, he reached a desert called Midian. There he saw some people watering their animals by a well, and a little further away, 2 young women were standing guarding their animals. Moses alayhi salam was tired, but he went forward to help them. He alone moved the huge stone of the well and watered their animals, and went to the shade of a tree and prayed to Allah, "O my Lord, I am in need of whatever favor you will send down upon me." These 2 young women were the daughters of the Prophet of Midian, Hazrat Shuaib alayhi salam. Impressed by the honesty and strength of Musa alayhi salam, Shuaib alayhi salam gave him shelter and married him to one of his daughters, Safura, on the condition that he would herd his animals for 8 to 10 years. Musa alayhi salam spent 10 years in this peaceful environment of Midian, which mentally prepared him for the next great responsibility.
After 10 long years, Musa alayhi salam decided to return to Egypt with his family. A silent, dark night. A cold wind blows between the rugged mountains of the Sinai desert. A traveler is walking with his family in this vast, uninhabited wilderness. On the way, there is complete darkness and bone-chilling cold. Finding the way has become difficult. Just then, a flash of light catches his eye on the top of the mountain. He said to his family, "Wait here, I have found a fire. Perhaps I can bring you some burning coals from there, or find someone by the fire to guide you." As Moses, alayhi salam, walked toward the light on the mountain, he did not know that this journey would change the course of his life forever. The closer he got, the more strange the fire seemed. It was no ordinary fire. A green, fresh tree was on fire, but the tree was not burning. When he reached the sacred valley of Tuwa in the mountains, stunned by surprise, a solemn and miraculous voice echoed, "O Moses, I am your Lord, so take off your shoes, for you are now in the sacred valley of Tuwa." Moses, alayhi salam, was stunned by the direct word of the Creator. This was one of the greatest moments in human history, where a man is having a direct conversation with his Lord. Allah ordered him to throw the stick in his hand on the ground. As soon as Musa alayhi salam threw the stick, it turned into a huge living snake and started running in all directions. When he was about to retreat in fear, Allah warned him and said, "Take it, do not be afraid. I will return it to its former state." Then he was shown another sign. When he put his hand in his armpit and took it out, it shone with a bright white light like the sun, without any disease. Allah ordered him to go to the greatest tyrant of that time, Pharaoh, and invite him to Tawheed. Musa alayhi salam prayed to Allah to appoint his brother Harun alayhi salam as his helper. Allah accepted his prayer.
Moses alayhi salam and his brother Aaron alayhi salam went and stood before Pharaoh, the fear of whom the whole country trembled. Moses alayhi salam called Pharaoh in a very humble but firm language to worship one God and to free the children of Israel. Pharaoh burst into laughter. He reminded Moses of his past, called him ungrateful, and called him a magician. Moses alayhi salam threw his staff on the ground, which turned into a snake, and extended his hand, which began to emit bright light. Pharaoh thought this was ordinary magic and sent the best magicians in his kingdom to defeat Moses. The appointed day of the festival, in front of millions of people, Moses alayhi salam was alone on one side and Pharaoh's vast army of magicians on the other. The magicians threw their ropes and sticks on the ground, which, due to the effect of magic, began to look like thousands of writhing snakes. Fear entered the hearts of the people. Then Allah ordered Moses to throw his stick. As soon as the stick fell, it turned into a huge real python snake and swallowed all the magicians' false snake webs. The magicians realized that this was not magic. This was definitely a miracle from the Almighty. They immediately fell down in prostration and declared, "We believe in the Lord of Moses and Aaron." Pharaoh, blinded by anger, threatened to cut off the magicians' hands and feet and crucify them. But the magicians, illuminated by the light of faith, ignored the fear of death and remained steadfast in their faith.
Even after the defeat of the magicians, Pharaoh's arrogance did not diminish. He increased his oppression of the children of Israel. Then Allah Almighty began to send one wrath or disaster after another on the Egyptians. First came a terrible drought and famine. Then Allah sent a great flood. Then a swarm of locusts came and destroyed all their crops. Then came lice or insects, which made their lives miserable. Then came the plague of frogs, their food, their beds, only frogs and toads everywhere. Finally, the water in their rivers, wells, and even the water in their pots turned into blood. Every time Pharaoh was angry, he would run to Moses and promise that if he prayed for this wrath to be removed, he would free the children of Israel. But as soon as Pharaoh's anger subsided due to Moses' prayer, he would break his promise again.
Guards, seize them!
Finally, Allah's command came. Moses, alayhi salam, left Egypt with the children of Israel in the darkness of the night. Millions of people, women, children, and the elderly, all were walking in the hope of freedom. But in the morning, when Pharaoh learned that they had fled, he pursued them with his large and well-equipped army. When the children of Israel reached the shores of the Red Sea, they saw the raging sea in front of them and Pharaoh's bloodthirsty army behind them. They had no hope of survival. The children of Israel began to blame Moses, but Moses, alayhi salam, was not at all disturbed. His voice was filled with deep faith. "Never. Surely my Lord is with me. He will guide me." Then Allah's revelation came. "Strike the sea with your staff." As soon as Moses alayhi salam struck, a miraculous event occurred. The waters of the Red Sea parted in two and stood like huge mountains. A dry and smooth road was formed in the middle. The children of Israel crossed the sea safely through that road. When Pharaoh and his army saw that road, they blindly followed them into the middle of the sea in their arrogance. When the last person of the children of Israel reached the shore, Pharaoh's entire army was in the middle of the sea. By the command of Allah, the waters on both sides of the sea became one again as before. Pharaoh and his army began to sink under the huge body of water. Just before his death, Pharaoh cried out, "I believe that there is no God but the Lord in whom the children of Israel believe, and I am one of the Muslims." But it was too late. Allah did not accept this faith at the time of death. However, Allah announced that his body would be preserved as a sign for future generations.
This life struggle of Moses alayhi salam is not just the story of one man. It is a symbol of the eternal struggle between truth and falsehood, justice and injustice. How a common man defeated the most powerful ruler of the world at that time with full trust in Allah still inspires millions of people. After crossing the Red Sea, the children of Israel had to wander in the desert for 40 years due to their disobedience. Even during that time, Moses alayhi salam brought them the divine book Torah from Mount Tur, provided them with water by splitting the chest of the rock, and provided them with the heavenly food called manna and salwa. This epic life of Moses alayhi salam teaches us that no matter how powerful the oppressor is, the final victory belongs to the oppressed and the truthful.